Alright, welcome to the BELLPORT Battle Bunker. We got a 2,500 point match play Eternal War mission here. We're going to do Secure and Control. We got Chris back on the channel with his Deathguard Nurgle, and we got a newcomer, Steve, with his Primaris Ultramarines. So we got a real treat here. You're going to see some real nicely painted miniatures from the Primaris range. First time on the channel. So let's go meet the armies and see what we got. Alright, so we got approximately 2,500 points of battle-forged Primaris Space Marines. Steve, we just organized his army a little bit here. He's got, I mean, the models are gorgeous. We're going to take a look at some of these individually in a second, but we're just trying to get it organized into a detachment. So we're going to go with a Vanguard detachment, which is going to make this little pile over here of elite, led by an HQ with a lieutenant. So we got the aggressors, we got the Redemptor, we got an apothecary, and a chapter ancient. So this little group right here is going to be the Vanguard. We're going to get a zoom in on some of these models. So Steve, when you decide to paint these guys, obviously you went with the Ultramarines. Is that the, I heard you mention, you said this has been the last Space Marine army you're going to be painting?
That's correct.
You got it.
Custodes.
You got it. Well, yeah, they got the new Custodes. You got a Dark Angel army you've been working on, about 5,000 points.
At least.
And I've seen your Space Wolves. They're gorgeous.
Give them to Bob.
Alright, so we got the Chapter Ancient. He'll let him get guys back that get killed. The Apothecary will try to save guys or give wounds to these Primaris because they all have 2 wounds a pop. You got the Redemptor. We all know about this dread. This beautiful looking dread. One with the Onslaught Gatling cannons. Some rocket pods here. And then these aggressors. These are the ones with the bolter shots. That's a lot of bolter shots.
Yeah, it's a lot of bolter shots.
And then we got 2 fast attacks here. You got 2 different kinds of Inceptors. You got the one with the heavy bolter pistols, and the other one's got the plasma pistols, right?
Correct.
There they are. Now these guys hit hard. They're allowed to deep strike, and when they charge, they can do a mortal wound on a roll of a 6 to anybody within an inch of them for each model. So they pack a little bit of a punch too in assault, but I guess mainly for shooting. You got 2 heavy support options here. You got a typical Hellblaster squad here. We're going with the 30-inch rapid-fire gun, 5-man. Got a sergeant right there. And you got this Thunderfire cannon with the Tech Marine gunner, fully kitted out with his servo harness with all the weapons. We got an extra HQ here. We got the new Librarian model, new Primaris model. Did you pick any psychic powers for this guy? You have any in your mind what you want to do, or you want to take a look at the book? I think you're allowed to pick 2 plus Smite.
Is it in this book, or is it on my...
It'll be in the Space Marine Codex. And then you got these 2 intercessor squads. Here's the sergeant. 2 5-man squads. They'll be able to fit in these gorgeous looking tanks, these repulsors, bristling with all its shiny new guns. Looks like you got the Frag Storm assault launchers on here, the Iron Hail missile pod, Las Talon, twin-linked Las cannon, the Onslaught Gatling right here, or the mini Gatling cannon, and then this one had Storm Bolters.
That's the wrong language.
And the large Gatling cannon right there, plus twin Las cannon. So packing a punch here. Oh, we almost forgot this guy, the Lord of War. Gotta film him up. Guiliman himself, Lord of War, Ultramarine Primarch. We got our first Primarch here for the good guys. Amazing looking model. So much better when somebody's painting this bad boy up to a high quality. Well, we got a nice treat here, guys. We got the We got this gorgeous army. Then we're going to take a look at Chris's army. We've seen elements of it. We'll see what he's got. I think it looks like Mortarion over there. But we got 2,500 points of a Vanguard detachment, battle forged. So he'll be coming in at 4 command points. Alright, so we got 2,500 points of, was it Deathguard mixed with some Chaos Space Marine Nurgle?
This is just pure Deathguard.
Pure Deathguard today. Alright, let's start with this bad boy right here.
So, Lord of War choice, Mortarion.
Got the Lantern, got the Reaper.
Yeah, he's got, you know, his psychic powers.
Yep.
Miasma, Gift of Contagion, Curse of the Leper.
Alright, what is this, a sorcerer?
Yeah, the Malignant Plague Caster. He also has the Miasma and the Plague Wind.
Cultist?
Cultist, 15 Cultist, Close Combat Weapons, and Flamer. 10 Plague Bearer Demons. Got the squad of 7 Plague Marines with Combi, Plasma Champion, 2 Plasma Guns, and a Rhino. The 7-man squad of Meltagun Plague Marines and a Rhino. Demon Prince with the Miasma of Pestilence, Wings, and Malefic Talons. We got the Hellbrute with Twin Link Las Cannon and a Hellbrute Fist. Then 10 more Plague Bearer Demons. The Blight Lord Terminators with Combi Plasmas and a Reaper. And they're in the Land Raider standard armament. And then the Defiler with Twin Linked Reaper Autocannon, Battle Cannon, and Twin Linked Heavy Flamer.
Alright, so you said you got this in a battalion detachment, battle forged, ready to go?
Yep.
Coming in at 6 command points?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, we got deployment done here. The Sons of Guiliman here, they were deploying first, so they got all their drops down before Mortarion came down. So they'll be adding +1 to the die roll to see who goes first for this game. We had the table quarter set up here, so with the 9-inch circle in the center of the battlefield, and then we got this quarter. Chris picked this quarter over here. He's got most of his army right up against the edge. We got the Terminators inside the Land Raider here. We got the Blight Crawler, both Plague Marine squads inside those Rhinos. Mortarion right behind them, all his demons. You got everything on the table, nothing in reserve, right?
Right.
So everything's on the table for the Deathguard. And the Ultramarines have an Inceptor squad in Deep Strike. Both Inceptor squads, one with Plasma and one with the Bolters. Inside this tank is the Hellblasters. And I think you also have a 5-man squad of Intercessors, right? You got 2 squads in this one?
Right.
And then this one had a 1 squad Intercessors and the Apothecary, the Chapter Ancient, and the Librarian. So those 3 characters are inside that one. Got the Thunderfire cannon set up. So this is the mission, this is the home base objective for the Ultramarines right here. And then this communications tower over here is one for the Deathguard. So whoever controls these at the end of the game gets 3 victory points. Each one of those is worth that many points. And we got the standard First Blood, Line Breaker, and Slay the Warlord. So I'm assuming the Warlord is Mortarion here, Chris?
Yep.
And then Guiliman is going to be the Warlord for the Ultramarines. So we just need a dice roll from you guys. Steve's going to get +1 to this roll to see who gets first turn.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're rolling up here. We got Steve gets +1 to the die roll. He's got a 7.
Can't win.
Can't win, yep. So the Ultramarines have the decision to make. They want to go first or second.
Go first.
Alright, so now do you want to try to seize the initiative? Chris can attempt to seize with a 6.
Of course. Yes.
Oh, man. So he's got the seize. So now that's going to be a lot of movement here. We'll sit back. We'll get back to you after the movement phase. See if he's going to disembark from any of these vehicles. It's a close battle. You guys both deployed right up to your edges, so there could be action on the first round, especially with Morty over there with his flying ability. Alright, we'll get back to you after the movement phase. Alright, so we got the movement and psychic phases done here for Chris. The Plague Bearers have moved up. The Land Raider moved up, but the Terminators are staying inside. We got the Demon Prince right behind. The Rhino here with the Plasmas moved up. Cultists are moving up. Looks like the Defiler sat still. Mortarion jumped over here into the river, followed by the Hellbrute. And the Meltagun squad jumped out of the Rhino to try to get some shots on this repulsor. There was a, the Malignant Plague Caster. He cast a smite and did 1 mortal wound to the tank. And I believe both of your your Demon Prince and Mortarion have miasma right now on them, so they're -1 to hit for your opponent. And somebody else got something else that was.
Plague Marines have +1 strength and toughness.
These guys right in the middle here.
Yeah, putrescent vitality.
All right. All right. So shooting. All right, the shooting phase is done. It was I don't want to sugarcoat it, Chris, but it was pretty lackluster, brother.
Yeah.
You rolled a lot of 1s. Alright, but you did do some damage. So these 2 last cannon, this tank here had 2 last cannons that got through, but you rolled snake eyes for the damage, unfortunately, and you had already used your command point for a reroll, I think, on one of these Melta shots, right?
Yeah, which missed.
Yeah, the Melta. So between the Melta, the multi-Melta here, and the 4 last cannon shots, you got a total of 4 wounds on this repulsor. You had better luck over here. The Hellbrute rolled a 4 for his last cannon shot that got through, and I think you had a couple of Meltaguns over here hit also, right?
Yeah.
So you knocked 7 points off of this repulsor. The Lantern, unfortunately, did not wound. And that was it for the shooting. This guy got not too many shots off with his battle cannon.
Got Bupkis.
Yep.
1 shot.
It wasn't very good. A lot of 1s for the either amount of shots or rolling to wound or the damage done. So,
well,
Steve's looking in good shape right now. Nothing has been destroyed. There's no first blood yet, so Steve has that opportunity to get first blood by killing a unit. And he just has to decide if he wants to bring in his deep strikers now or wait. But we'll do some movement. We'll get back to you for the Ultramarines. So right now it's bottom of turn 1. Ultramarines coming up.
I tell you what, let's go
right.
a little hand to hand with my guy, and we'll see how long that lasts.
Get out of here.
All right, we just had a withering shooting round. I mean, there's a lot of bullets that come out of this army. Steve disembarked everything out of the tanks. He moved up the aggressors. Mortarion wound up taking 13 wounds from the last cannon fire. I mean, he was pretty resilient. The aggressors is what really 20 wounds on these Plague Marines.
I need a half a smoke or something.
So they're all wiped out.
But I don't want to go up.
What else we got here? You did 3 wounds on this guy, right, from the shots? 3 wounds on him?
3 wounds on the Blight Crawler.
Yeah. You'll be my next target.
And the Thunderfire cannon also fired at Morty. So Morty is still kicking, but he did take a lot of abuse.
5 wounds left.
Yeah, the Dreadnought fired at him, the 2 repulsors, and the Thunderfire cannon.
Everything we could manage to throw at him.
Everything that had range on him really targeted him.
Including a goat with tin cans.
So we're looking at first blood because we did wipe out the Plague Marines in the center. So that's the bottom of turn 1. So we're going to go to the top of turn 2 here with the Nurgle Demons. And everything's on the board. He still has Terminators in here, and I think you have a Plasma Squad in there, right?
Yep.
So we're going to see what Chris has to counter this punch. And we'll get back to you with his after his movement phase. Okay, we're at the top of turn 2 here. We got the Land Raider spilling out its cargo of Terminators. We got the Demon Prince flying up. He's got the Miasma Pestilence on himself. There was Miasma that was cast on here. Steve failed to block one of the spells with his Librarian, so it looks like 3 Miasma Pestilences. So we're -1 to hit Mortarion, the Prince, and the Land Raider. You failed to get off Curse of the Leper, right? You didn't roll high enough?
Right.
And everything moved except for this guy because you want to use Fire Frenzy. I think you have a stratagem if he stays still. I know that the
yeah, it's Fire Frenzy or...
the Filer stays still, so he could fire a full effect. But everything else seems to have moved forward, trying to get to grips. So we're going to go into the shooting phase right away. Let's see what we got for shooting. Alright, the shooting phase is done. You killed 2 Intercessors here and 2 Hellblasters. Took out the repulsor with a lot of last cannon fire from the Hellbrute and some melter shots, but I think it was a Defile that finished him off, right? Defiler.
Land Raider last cannons.
Land Raider got some good damage, and then the battle cannon finished it off. A couple more intercessors were killed from this squad in the river, and the Dreadnought took a couple points of damage from what lit him up.
Battle cannon.
Battle cannon shot. All right, so we're in the charge phase. What do you got coming at us right now? All this stuff in the front. You got Terminators here. We got the Demon Prince. You even got this little Blight Crawler that can come in. Well, I guess everything. I mean,
yeah,
Land Raider.
Stuff.
The Land Raider can charge it too. I mean, well, I guess he can't get through here, but the Rhino can charge.
Yeah. All right. So
What do you want?
All right, so a lot of shooting here. The repulsor went down, didn't explode, but the assault phase now. Mortarion came in and wiped out that intercessor squad, and then consolidated into the Librarian. The Librarian did get a hit on him, but Mortarion made his save. The aggressors. Lots of shots from these guys in Overwatch. Chris weathered the storm, took 1 wound coming in, and then took 2 wounds from a punch from a power fist because we interrupted the charge phase.
Yeah.
And you did 1 wound damage onto the aggressors, so that was a locked up combat right there. The Demon Prince wiped out his squad. He killed 3 of the Hellblasters. So Mortarion killed the intercessors. The Demon Prince killed the Hellblasters. And we got a Librarian locked up, the aggressors locked up, but they can Ultramarines can move out of combat and still be able to shoot, even though it's a -1 to hit. So we're going to go to the bottom of turn 2 now and see if Steve can respond to this. He's got a Dreadnought that can do some damage against Mortarion or any of this stuff. But he's got some moving and shooting to think about too. So let's see what he's got.
Yeah,
Bottom of turn 2 coming up. Good. Alright, so a lot of things happened here. We had a bunch of assaults. The Inceptors came in, tried to take down the Demon Prince, knocked him down with 2 wounds remaining, but couldn't finish the job. 2 of them died. These Inceptors did charge the remaining Terminator, killed him with their mortal wounds, and then engaged this Land Raider. So it's going to have to move out of the way before it can shoot. Over here, we assaulted the Rhino with the aggressors, and then the Rhino blew up and did a bunch of mortal wounds to everybody around him. And Mortarion also killed a bunch of guys. What was that spell you had with a 7-inch?
He had the what do you call it? Not miasma.
Some kind of plague or pestilence or something.
It's the
something that does.
My ex-mother-in-law.
Host of Plagues.
A host of plagues. It did a D3 mortal wounds to everybody within
yeah, and he got
7 inches, right?
6 on. They get
go
mortal wounds.
Have a little smoke.
Okay.
All right. And he's in charge of my side of the game when I'm gone.
All right, I'll roll some dice.
roll them.
You got it.
Try not to kill Dylan.
I'll try not to. No, you already saved his life. All right, so
Yeah, Mortarion did some wounds to the Dreadnought.
and the aggressors
and I
wiped
believe-
them out.
Yeah,
So between the exploding Rhino and his
yeah.
host of plagues thing, killed the aggressors,
And that
damaged
exploding
everybody
mi-
around. Look
the
at all those damage
exploding,
dice.
The exploding Mythic Blight Crawler, I used the thing to make it explode.
Oh, that's right. It took 2
automatically,
blow-ups.
And it did a wound to various people before, So then the Rhino exploded.
Yeah, 3 different things generated mortal wounds. The exploding Blight Crawler did D3 to everybody within 7, which was basically everybody. The Lieutenant, the Librarian, Guiliman, the Apothecary, the aggressors. He did the host of plagues, got a couple of guys, and the Rhino exploded, got a couple of guys. So a lot of guys were killed. We brought Mortarion down to what, 2 wounds remaining?
Yeah.
Made about what, 8, 9, 10 invulnerable saves, 4 up.
Yeah,
Crazy
4.
amount of saves. Withstood the sword. I think the only damage I got through was the D3 mortal wounds that the sword does when it rolls a 6, right? Because he rolled 1-6.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I got through. The Dreadnought punched him. He ignored that. He ignored the sword. He ignored the Librarian. So that was a lot of damage. And then he winds up killing Guiliman because Guiliman was damaged by all those mortal wounds from the exploding Blight Crawler, the blown up Rhino, the host of plagues. Killed him with an eviscerating strike. 1 shot got through. He rolled a 6, right? 6 wounds.
Right.
So dropped Guiliman, but he got back up. And now we got the top of turn 3. So let's see what Chris is going to do. He could fly out of that combat with Mortarion and then move up with some other squads. He has to move this guy out of combat unless he wants to, you know, leave him in there. But he got some plasma over here. He could shoot these guys up pretty good.
Yeah.
And this guy could just fly out and then have no problems, right? So you got... Okay, the combat saw these plague bearers come in, didn't do any damage to these people. The what we got there? We got Marines, they came in. Some plague Marines came in, didn't do any damage. Tank took took some damage, right? He knocked a couple of points off the tank.
Yeah, I think it took like
yeah, it's down to 5 Mortarion and the Dread killed Mortarion and Hellbrute killed his Dreadnought. So the Dreadnought's gone, but didn't blow up.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, and that would have been good if it would have blown up. Maybe just some mortal wounds like we got.
Yep.
But that's it for that phase. So now Mortarion is out, Guiliman's up. We got an Apothecary, we lost the Lieutenant. Lost the Chapter Ancient. Primaris Ancient.
The Librarian got...
zapped by a
host of plagues.
Host of plagues, special rules, right? So that host of plagues really did a lot of damage the last 2 rounds. Alright, we're at the bottom of turn 3. Let's see what the Ultramarines can do to come back and fight. Alright, right? So we circled up over here and shot the Demon Prince out. So he's gone. And we killed Mortarion. So with all the shooting, this tank right here finished him off. Threw 2 last cannon shots into the Hellbrute. Did 6 damage on 1 last cannon shot, max damage. Couldn't kill this little sorcerer guy. Knocked him down to 1 wound left. So he was still alive.
Oh, he exploded and you got hit with 6 units with it.
But we're gonna end it here. We played through 3 rounds, and it looks like the both squads here. We got the Tech Marine Gunner holding their home objective. We got the Plague Bearers holding the Nurgle's home objective. So that's a tie. I know that the Ultramarines with Steve had First Blood and Slay the Warlord, so that's 2 points. And Chris had Line Breaker because he was in his zone. So that's a point. So it looks like the Ultramarines are going to squeak this one out by 1 point on the tertiary objective points.
You did.
Just want to thank Steve and Chris for coming down in here, especially Steve with these really gorgeous looking Primaris models. The first time we've seen these on the channel. So special thanks to Steve with his you know, bringing these guys down and getting a nice fat fight. And look at this paint job here. It's gorgeous. Great looking Primaris models. First time I've seen them all painted